First things first, did the luggage problems solve themselves?
Yes. Yeah. Luckily, we got in with a we got in early in the morning with a full day off. So luckily, all the luggage got in the next the day of the first show.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you might want to say to your airline? That
I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to harp on it too much, but it was definitely. I always wonder when a bag doesn't make, because it was all our oversized stuff, so it probably didn't go on because of the size. Like, because all of our suitcases showed up, but none of our like oversized stuff. So
yeah,
I have to imagine that was a decision to not put it on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
So I always wonder what they think. Like, oh man, somebody's gonna be real pissed off when they get off. Like they know it's not gonna show up.
They see these guys with tattoos. They're like, oh man, no, not today. Yeah. All right. You guys don't live in the same cities in the U.S. anymore, if I gathered that correctly.
Yeah, we're spread out. I mean, we still all have family or even houses in New York, you know. So we all spend a lot of time there still. But yeah, all of our main houses are kind of spread out around the country now. Right.
Does this affect the dynamic of the group?
It was definitely a learning curve. We had to figure out how certain things were going to work, you know, but we got it down pretty good. Like, we do a lot of our writing a lot more remotely now. Like, we'll work on stuff from home and we'll mail it to each other and work on it. But then we still get together in New York before we go into the studio and work on stuff together. And now, you know, we practice for a few days before we leave for tours. We don't really practice in between tours or anything. So a few days before a tour, we'll all get together and in New York and practice before we leave. So took a little. There's a lot more planning, but most of that falls onto our manager anyway. You know, have more flights to book and stuff like that. But
so you mentioned you get together a couple days before you go on a tour. So how did you prepare for this specific tour with the Gaslight Anthem and Beartastic?
This one in particular is interesting because it's been a really long time since we did a tour where the majority of the audience doesn't know who we are. Because usually we do a lot of headlining for the most part. We rarely support, and if we do, then we're usually main support on a tour that where our fans are going to be noticeable in the audience. So this was our first tour in a really long time where we really had to sort of come up with what the proper set list for people who don't know who Bayside is.
Right.
Normally we would say like, okay, these are our most popular songs, so we want to do those. These are the songs that people ask for all the time, so we want to do those. These are the songs from the new record, so we want to do those. But when you're going into something like this, where it's a lot of these shows are so huge, and the majority of the crowd has never even heard our name before, what our popular songs songs don't even matter. It's really like coming up with a set list for if you had never heard Bayside, what songs would pull you in. So it was very different actually preparing for this tour compared to past ones.
Alright, so basically tonight and this tour is basically a Bayside 101 for the people who might not know you.
We think, you know what I mean? But like obviously it's hard for us to get into the mind of somebody who's never heard us before.
Right.
You know, but it's what we think, like there's definitely songs that we're not playing that we would play on every other tour, that we're not playing. Because also it's first time we've had to make a half-hour set list in a really long time also.
Are there any pre-tour, pre-show rituals that you go through?
Everybody's got their own stuff. We all like Jack will warm up, like we'll play a little guitar and stuff, and I have like a pretty long vocal warm up. I'll warm up, I'll be preparing for about an hour and a half or so before the set. Chris warms up like on a drum pad for hours sometimes. Yeah, but that's about it. We don't it's not like a whole lot of psyching ourselves up or anything like that. It's more preparing.
Yeah, it's business as usual for you guys, right? I've been here so long that,
Yeah.
Any favorite tour food that you really like to see when you're on tour? I'm big, we all love food. Food's really important to us. We gauge cities that we go to on the food most of the time. So we like local stuff. If we're in Germany, we want German food. If we want, wherever we are, we want to eat like what they're known for. Even within the cities in the U.S., whatever each city is known for, that's what we want to have that day, Alright, skip all these two for now. So how does the rest of the band deal with your
pop song obsession? You play a lot of Katy Perry on the bus?
No, not so. That stuff is more headphones music. I listen to that more on my own. I love it. I mean, I listen to a lot of. I listen to really everything. I listen to a huge variety of stuff, and I really study it. A lot of times I listen to music with a pen and paper. I take notes as I'm listening to things, because I like to listen to why do I like this? What do I like about it? What are the characteristics that are drawing me in as a listener? What's rubbing me wrong? And trying to like really break, because when you don't play music for a living or write music for a living, you just listen and you say I like it or I don't like it. You know what I mean? But as a writer, I have to figure out why you like it and why you don't like it, and how to draw you in. So that's where pop music really, I think that's where it's great. You know what I mean? Because I don't have a connection with pop music the way I have with punk rock or a lot of other music that I listen to. You know, it's not the same connection, but it's fascinating that somebody can write a song with that much appeal.
All right. So, what would you say the current state of affairs is within the pop world? Taking it from the '90s.
It's not that great right now.
Not that great.
Yeah, a couple of years ago was good. I thought I mean, I love Britney Spears. I think anytime she puts out a record, it's a good year. Sir, I think there are the greats, when it comes to pop music, and I think there is just people who will be gone,
Right.
They have one record and you won't hear about them again. So right now, it's not that great.
All right, let's go back to Bayside. What's the best song for you guys to play live, like as a band?
There's a lot. It changes a lot. I mean, I love playing Devotion and Desire because that's usually the one that everybody knows, and it's people get really excited when we play it. There's a lot of energy in it. So I always like playing that just for the response and the reaction. But Mona Lisa is really fun to play too off the Killing Time record because it's a really complicated song, mm-hmm. and keeps us on our toes. It's really challenging and fun to play.
All right, and what's one song that you used to love to play but have now grown a little tired of?
None really. I mean, I still really love. I mean, if you listen to all the Bayside records, we haven't changed much over the years. And that's always been a conscious decision to we are Bayside. This is what Bayside sounds like. And this is what we always want to sound like, and we're able to do that because we still do love the way we used to sound. We love the old records, we love the old songs. We still listen to all the music we listened to when we were writing that stuff, And I think with a lot of bands, they over the years they get into different things, new things, and they change, And
right.
That's never been on the table for us.
All right, so you do a lot of headliners also internationally. But what would your dream tour setup be, band-wise, location-wise?
We've always said opening for Green Day or something would be really, really awesome for us.
All right. In any particular place?
Anywhere, yeah, anywhere in the world.
Shady New York basement.
Yeah, anywhere would be cool.
All right. Let's see. Is there any special tour story you have in mind that you would like to share?
No, nothing. No one story really in particular.
Right.
We try to make the most of our time on tour. We still really like to travel. We still really like each other's company. We still really like meeting new people. Like I was telling you before, Brussels is like our collective favorite city in the world. So we love coming here. Last night we were just out, we went to a couple of bars and just sat outside, and
right.
Everybody had a few drinks, and we ate waffles and ice cream and went sightseeing, all the beautiful architecture, everything. Those are my favorite nights. It's not once in a while there'll be a wild night, but that's not really our vibe. We're much more, we like to sit and enjoy and take in the place that we're at.
Perfect place for that.
It is, sure is.
You guys check out Delirium?
Yes, we were there for most of the night last night.
All right, very cool. Bayside there's quite a break between your previous record and this record from 2011 to 2014. Mm-hmm. What went into the process of writing?
We wrote this record for a really long time, longer than most records. We recorded it. It's probably the longest we ever spent writing a record, and the shortest we ever spent recording it.
All right.
Yeah, we wrote. I mean, we were writing. For years we were working on this record, and we just did a lot of touring, and the touring cycle was going really well, you know, and so we didn't want to stop that. You know, the fans really liked Killing Time. We also made a whole lot of new fans off, you know, from the Killing Time release. So we did some cool tours. We got to go and do the Taking Back Sunday, Tell All Your Friends 10-year anniversary tour, and you know, so we were writing and writing and writing. We would think we were ready to go into the studio, and then a great tour would come up, and we'd say we have to go do that. So we postpone the recording, and then another great tour would come up, and we'd go do that.
Right.
So the touring cycle was just so good for us that you know, we just really stretched it out.
All right, yeah, because 3 years for a lot of bands, you know, a lot of bands put out a record every year to keep current.
Yeah. I mean, we put out, for us, a new record is like recharging.
Yeah.
You know, it's reinvigorating the fans, giving them something new when they start to become hungry. It's giving ourselves something new. It's recharge. You know, if we feel like the tours, you know, we're playing the same songs over and over, we need new songs into the set list. That's when we could do a new record. We don't do a new record just because it's been X amount of time, you know. So we were very lucky that Killing Time record cycle just felt like it always felt healthy, you know, for all those years. It felt like it wasn't time, you know.
Very cool, very cool. Anything else you would like to mention, say, you know, talk about?
Well, that covers it.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything? Any plans for the immediate future for Bayside?
We're gonna do. So our new record came out this year, Cult, and we're gonna do. In February, I think, of 2015, we're going to re-release it. We actually, before this tour started, we went into the studio, we wrote and recorded a couple of new songs. So we're going to do like a re-release of Cult with some bonus tracks on it.
Oh, very cool. All right. Thanks a lot for the interview.